We're here with Steven.
Hello.
What you up to, buddy?
Hello, everyone. So, what we're doing here today is we are making, or building, should I say, our first desktop computer. So, I started a little early, but I'll show you what we're using. So, we're going to start off building our motherboard here. Here we have the Z490 Strix E Gaming. It's a very nice motherboard for my processor, which is the Intel i9-10900K. So, as we see, initially we started the build off with putting the processor in. We took it out the box. And we put it into this little socket, this LG A1200 socket here. Very easy installation. And afterwards, we put in our RAM. We have two sticks of Dominator Platinum 16 gigabytes, or should I rather say 32 gigabytes and 3200 DDR4. And next, we are moving to put in our M.2 NVMe slot. This slot is for our storage. This is our RAM, two completely different things. And we're just working to do that. I had just removed the heat sink over here. So the M.2 slot will go in as so. When you're putting it in, you have to make sure it's at a tilt so that when it clicks in like that, it makes a little clicking sound. And right here, you have two screws. So this big larger screw that you'll see on this right here goes into a slot on this side so that you can plug a smaller screw in and you can screw this whole thing down. And that'll probably be the last that we're gonna do on this motherboard before we install it into the chassis here. And then after we do that, we have our AIO cooler, just water cooling, gonna cool our CPU, and then we'll be moving on to a lot more of the other stuff here. This is probably gonna be the most interesting part in terms of putting a lot of stuff into it, but of course the motherboard is one of the more important parts because everything that you're using is directly linked to your motherboard. It's the life of the computer, so it's very important. So we'll be back when I have more stuff put together. You'll probably see the motherboard and the chassis, the AIO cooler installed, and then we'll probably be looking to put our power supply cables in and our fans in. So see you then.
3 days later.
So, Steven, it's been a few days. What's going on with you?
So last time we were here, we were building our computer. We missed our little mid-tier update, but I'll give you an update on what's been going on. When we left, we were putting our motherboard in our chassis. We were getting all the components to start working, and we were working on getting our cooler in, our fans in, and our graphics card in. So like I said, we finally put the motherboard inside the whole computer, and we were fixing all the wires together, making sure everything was connected to the motherboard. We finally got our power supply in. Power supply is used to power everything. I had an 850 watt power supply. Aside from that, we got our motherboard and our RAM installed and our storage installed, which was a W2 SSD 1 terabyte. And last but not least, we're finally able to put our RTX 3080 graphics card in, and we booted it up and everything started working. So we'll just give you a showcase of the final product. Here's the final product. We have our 4 fans, QL120s, Corsair version. 1, 2, 3, one in the back. We have our RAM here, and then we have our cooler, which is up top here, if you can show to the bottom. It's also very colorful. As well as, if you see this big boy here, the RTX 3080. Very, very hard product to come by right now, but I was able to camp out at the Micro Center and finally get it. That's about 2 weeks ago. And aside from that, there's all the wires are in the back. I went for a very clean, colorful black look, except for some of the wire extensions that are here. It's a little bit of a mess, but as time goes on, we'll finally clean it up a little bit. And I have my entire setup here. I have my glorious Model O wireless, my GMMK 10 keyless keyboard, aluminum body, very sturdy keyboard here, as well as a nice, very colorful as well. And we have our headset, the Logitech G Pro headset, and of course our Gigabyte M27Q, very good monitor, 27 inches IPS panel, very good. So our setup is looking good. We finally got everything to work, and we're looking great. So I guess this is the last update. Maybe I'll update you in a few months if I swap out some products, or maybe put in a new CPU or something like that. But aside from that, it's Steven Shields signing off.